This is David Freeman. I'm going to show you how to keep everyone in the loop with Church Center. As a leader at Schweitzer, Church Center equips and empowers you to keep your group's meeting times and venues and members' contact info up to date, so your members have accurate information at their fingertips and the church staff has an accurate overall picture of the effectiveness of all church ministries. And if your group is open for new members, the general public has accurate information about your group and an easy way to join. Now, if you're like me, you forget how to use software if you don't use it every day. So I'm creating this video to serve as a quick reference anytime you need to update information. The first few minutes of the video, I'll show you how to teach yourself to make the updates. The rest of the video, I'll go into more details about some of the tabs and fields. Now, if tech is second nature to you, you probably only need to watch the first few minutes of this video, and then you can intuitively figure out the rest. If the thought of touching a computer causes you to get stressed, please email me. We have patient, skilled trainers in the church who will meet with you for as long as it takes for you to get comfortable with this church-wide communication tool, and I'll put you in touch with one of them. So if you're watching this video and realize it is horribly out of date, please let me know so I can update it. Here we go. If you already know how to log into PCO groups and Church Center, skip ahead about a minute in this video. So that means if you don't know, here is what you need to do to get into Church Center. You need to go to sumcsgf.churchcenter.com. To log in, they'll probably ask for your cell phone number. You give them your cell phone number. They immediately send you a code that you enter into the system, and boom, you're in. To log into PCO, you go to groups.planningcenteronline.com. Their login is a little more slow. If you haven't made your password yet, it has you click a button and sends you an email code that you have to enter. And for some reason, that email code sometimes takes hours to arrive. I wish it didn't, but it does. So once you get both of those two tabs up, your Church Center Online and your PCO groups, you're ready to start making your Church Center group stuff appear correctly on Church Center. And here's the way I learned. First, I opened the PCO tab, and here I've already got a group open. This is Join an Online Life Group. I'm going to experiment with that group. And then I opened it on the Church Center side, which I went to Groups, and there's Life Groups, and there's my Join an Online Life Group. And I opened it there. And then what I would do is go to the Church Center side and make a change in a field. All right, so I'm just going to demonstrate for you that I can make a change right here, click Save, and then I would open up the Church Center side and hit refresh. And voila, that is where change. So, oh, okay, now I see where that change appears, okay? So I would go back and I would play with another field and go back to the Church Center Online side and hit refresh. And I just figured out what each tab did by doing it that way. Another very helpful thing to use is this question mark, is the help for PCO groups. And I found it to be very helpful. The instructions and the examples are very clear and help you know how to fill out each field. Let's see. Now, there are some fields that are on these pages that affect only what the members see, and some fields affect only what the public sees, and some fields affect both. You just kind of have to play with it to figure that out. And the way you figure that out is you make the change while you're not logged in. Notice I am not logged in. It's asking for my login. And then you log in and see what that change looks like while you're logged in. All right. So now what you need to know is Church Center is the front side. This is what Joe Blow Public and your members see. PCO groups is the back side. This is what you have access to change if your name is in the members list of your group and you are designated as a leader. That is what gives you permission to update everything on PCO, which then updates everything on the Church Center side. Okay, now some fields that I'm about to show you, you do not have on your screen. If you do not have the field on your screen, that means an administrator needs to change that field for you. But I still want you to see what's on here so that you know when you call your staff person in charge of your ministry, hey, I'd like you to toggle this switch for me on PCO groups. You'll know what you're talking about. Okay, here's a quick overview of the tabs on the left of PCO groups. Your members tab just shows your members' names and their roles. It also shows their email and phone number and that kind of stuff. Events, this is where you will create specific meeting times and venues that will show up for your group. Resources is where you can add resources for your group. Settings, this is where you control the general display, the general look of what it looks like on the church center side. The overview just gives you some reports about how things are going with your group and the attendance. You can update your attendance that you can correct an attendance that you've taken in the past. You can also see reports for attendance. But there are 3 important tabs that I'm going to show you some details on for the purpose of making Church Center Online accurate. And those are the events, the settings, and the resources, these 3 right here. And actually the order of importance is get the settings done first, then get your events set, and then set your resources. So that's the way we're going to look at it today. So here are the settings. Again, the settings control how this page looks on Church Center to the general public and to some extent to members once they have joined the group. The members will get a few more options on here once they join the group that the general public won't have. All right, and I already showed you how you know that this field, the name field, changes here and here because I showed you that change. I'm going to change it back because I don't want, this is a live group. Ah, by the way, I do recommend that you put something like this. See, I put May 26, 2020, David Freeman is using this group listing to make a training video. The information in this listing will not be accurate until the 28th because every change you make in PCO Center is immediately live on the Church Center side. And I wanted people to know if they come to Church Center what's going on and why this keeps changing on them if they're looking at it. All right, so you might put up a little disclaimer like that while you're playing with this and learning how to use it. The group types, that's probably something I'm going to have to toggle for you. The meeting schedule is just kind of a general meeting schedule. It's not the specifics. It's just this little tab right here that says, you know, well, I put TBA. That could be Thursdays weekly or something like that. And you'll see in a moment that you don't even have to put that in. Display the meeting schedule publicly. You can play with that. Oh, but so if I toggle that, and then come over here and refresh, you'll see that this is going to disappear. There, it's gone. So, I mean, you know, just every little field, every little toggle does something. You toggle it, come over here, click refresh, see what it does, see what it appears, and then make it look how you want. The location allows you to update. Now, this is the location where you generally meet as a group. Once you set this location and then go over to events, this location will show up as a default in all of the events. If you leave it blank, then you're going to have to add a virtual or physical location to every event that you set up or group of events that you set up, and we'll talk about that more in a moment. The member visibility, this is just allows members to see the leader's name, photo, email. By the way, it's a little confusing because you have that option here. You also have this option down here to list the leader's name publicly. And if you have that clicked, the leader's name is going to show up right here, regardless of whether you toggle right here that it doesn't show up. All right, so if you don't want the name on there, you've got to make that be nothing and unclick that checkbox. Members can see each other's. This is the way that you can have a oh, come on, a members list of that members can see other members' phone number and email address. It gives you a roster for everybody to look at if they want. You need to clarify that with your members, whether they want that available publicly. Some of them might not want it publicly. This enrollment enables you to close the class automatically Auto close the enrollment on a particular date, auto close the enrollment if it reaches a certain number and you only want a limited number in your class, then it will automatically close. And create alert if the membership exceeds. That's just going to tell you, hey, more people are signing up, all right? This leader access, this is what enables you as a leader of the group to add or remove members. If you do not have the ability to add members to your group, please contact the staff member in charge of your ministry and have them toggle that button. This event reminders, again, is a default. If you set this, then it's going to show, then every event that you set is going to be set to send reminders out 3 days before. What those reminders are emails that go to every member of the group that says, hey, please remember this event is happening 3 days from now at this location, at this time. Are you going to attend, yes or no? And you can actually then go into the attendance and see who plans to attend. This attendance reminder, this asks, so everybody who is marked as a leader in the members tab is going to get an email 10 minutes before every event begins saying, please take attendance for this event. And the replies are going to go to Mary Beth, all right? These tags, I'm not sure if you have them or not. It's just a way to say who this group would apply to, all right? The group settings, group page settings. Now this visibility and enrollment status, I know an administrator has to set this for you. What this does is makes your group appear on Church Center or not. So if you've got a private group, that means you don't want people to join, you're not open for new members, you've got everybody you want, and you don't even want people to know that your group is meeting, then we can mark it as private. And watch what happens if we mark it as private. I go back over here, I hit refresh, boom, it is gone from Church Center. People no longer see it. So that's a very important button. If you want your group to be seen as public, you need to have me toggle that switch for you. Now, let me show you, here's 3 options for a public group. There's really, I can't think of a good reason to have a group be public and show that it's closed so that people can see that it's there, but they can't join it. Maybe some of those situations exist. What we really want is open if the group is going to be public, all right? So open sign up means anybody, they'll have a join button. I'll just show you. So we've got it back to visible to the public. I'm going to refresh and here it is. It's back visible and it says open. And it has this join this group button. If somebody clicks that button, they will automatically appear in the members list of your group and you will get an email. All the people who are marked as leaders in the group will get an email saying that person just joined the group. If instead you have request to join toggled, then when somebody clicks this button, all the people who are marked leaders in the group will get an email saying, do you accept this person into the group? And you have to then go in and manually add them to the group and respond to them via email. As a general rule, we're hoping to have an easy sign up for most groups, all right? This contact person field, this is the person that if somebody comes and they're checking out this group on the Church Center side and they say, I have questions, I want to know more, and they click this contact button, the email is going to go to that address. You can set it as any of the leaders in your group. I think you can set it as any of the members of your group if you want. Whoever in your group is designated to answer questions from the public about your group, their email needs to go here. Now, the group description. This is the description that appears on this main page right here. And you can, you've got several options about how to edit it. You can do several hyperlinks to it if you want. This list event calendar publicly. I'll click that and show you what that means. That means I'm going to go ahead and toggle this, refresh it. And now it has this upcoming events field in here and it shows there are no current events. All right. Hey, that's a good segue to our next button. The next button is events. This is the tab at the side. It's on the major menu. So you go into events and this is where you set up the meetings that you're going to have. So let's just say that this join an online life group, we're going to have a meeting tomorrow night. And I'm going to click create new event. This is where it gets a little confusing. All right. what you did in the settings is just general overall information about your group. The events sets up the particular meetings that your group is going to have. So I can set up a one-time event. I'm going to call this information meeting. And it's going to happen tomorrow at 5 p.m. Great. It's never going to repeat. Hey, I don't really want to send reminders to people because I've already contacted them via email. Now, here's a second description field. This description is going to show up for only the event. I'm going to just write in here, event specific, so that you can see where it appears. And the location. Now, this is really cool. You have the option to do a physical address, and you can do you can put in your own, you can create a new location and put in your own house address if you want. And that, okay, I'm not going to show you how to do that. You can mess with that. What the really cool thing is, you have this little display down here that you can set so that the non-members only see an approximate. They just see the zip code, a circle on the map for the zip code, and only members get to see exactly where your address is. You can also make it so that non-members don't see anything. You can also make it so that non-members do get to see the exact address where the group is meeting. You have the option for a physical address or a virtual link. Virtual link, what would go right here is the link to your Zoom meeting or your Google Meet meeting or your Microsoft Meet meeting. All right, so I've got this meeting set, and I'm just going to say we're going to meet in the Outreach Center and create event. Now, if I click the Events tab, now there's this little red dot up here. That shows I have an event on that day. There's a red thing down here, and it corresponds to that event up above. I can click on that event and edit it at any time I want. But let me go on the other side and show you. So I'm going to refresh. And here, now you see that event appearing for regular Joe people. And since I'm not logged in, I'm just Joe Blow Public looking at this. And here's, oh, I want to see the map. Oh, hey, that's what it looks like if you just had the general area show. It just kind of shows a map of Springfield and shows the general area where that meeting is going to occur. And if I log in, you'll see that I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to log in. And it's going to require me to put in my cell phone number. It's pretty amazing how fast it texts the code to your cell phone to put in. And I'm going to log in as David Freeman. Yes. And now I'm going to go to my groups. Here, see all of my groups that I am a member of. And there is, where is it? Join an online life group. There it is. I'm going to open that one. And now you can see, hey, okay, I still have that information. Here's that event. But this time when I click on it as a group member, I have the exact address of the meeting location, and I have a little Google map that shows me the exact location of that meeting. So that is how you add an event. Now I'm gonna add another event. This time I'm gonna do, this is our weekly meetings. And I'm just gonna throw something up here. Let's see, that'd have to be the next week and Thursday, since we're meeting on Thursdays. Yeah, I do want people to get reminders a day before the meeting. That'd be nice. It's going to repeat. Let's say it repeats weekly, and I'm going to do it all summer. So we're going to go to the end of August. And here is my second event description. I'm just writing that in so you can see where it appears. And this time we're going to do a virtual meeting. I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to put in a Google Meet virtual meeting here and see if I can show you what that looks like. So if I do the virtual meet, we're going to meet virtually every week on Google. There we go. So that event is created. If I go over here to the events tab, now you see all these red dots. And if I go into one of those meetings, let's go on the Church Center side and see what that looks like now. I'm going to refresh it. And now you see I have all these meetings. I can view them all if I want and get a big list of them. And if I enter the first of those meetings there, it says that second event description and attend online. If I click that button, I'm automatically in that Google Meet meeting. Pretty cool. So let's just say, hey, we're in the middle of COVID right now, and we go along and, oh, but we know that we're going to open up. We're meeting virtually for the next 3 weeks, but on the 25th, we're going to open up. Hooray. So I can go into the meeting on the 25th and edit that particular meeting and change it from being virtual over to meeting again at the outreach center or wherever we're meeting. I could put in my home address, whatever. And now I can save all the events going forward, and it's going to change this meeting and every meeting after it, or I can just save this meeting. There are pros and cons to both, right? You'll figure them out as you play with it and keep your meetings up to date. So you can see, if you will get your group used to using Church Center Online, how you can always just keep them totally up to date by what you put in Church Center Online for your meeting times, places, and other venues. Let's see. Okay, so I've covered settings, I've covered events, I've covered the settings tab, I've covered the events tab. Now comes resources. What resources does is puts a resource in your group resource area that every group member can access. For instance, I'm just going to put hey, we're doing Zoom best practices right now. I'm going to upload Zoom best practices. I'm going to call it Zoom best practices and let everybody know this is a work in progress. But what this allows is, and I'm going to make it so that not only the leaders can see it, but also all members can see it. And if I save that, now if I go to the Church Center side and refresh, this resources option comes in, and every group member then has the access to click on that particular document, and boom, they've got it on their own computer. They can print it out, they can do whatever they want with it. It does, you can put PowerPoints, you can put URLs, anything you want in that resources area. Well, maybe not anything you want, but close to anything in that resources area. So that also enables you to resource your group. You can also remove resources from it. So you're doing a Bible study virtually and you need to send a link or a PDF to your whole group. This is a great venue on which to host that. Thank you very much for transforming lives by making disciples of Jesus Christ, by being a leader of your group and classes. If you have any other questions, please feel free to email me or call me. My email is dfreeman@sumc.co. My phone is 417-879-4016. Have an absolutely great day.